Lightning, you disgust me. Hey everyone, Templar74 here with another Yu-Gi-Oh video, and today's Yu-Gi-Oh video is going to be my thoughts and impressions regarding the latest episode of Yu-Gi-Oh VRAINS, episode 92, Big Test. And I gotta be honest with you guys, this episode really hit right in the feels. This was a really feels episode, a very emotional episode. Although there wasn't a lot of dueling in this episode per se, it really was a episode that hit you right in the feels, and it brought back some vibes of what Yu-Gi-Oh has done in the past and has worked for them every time they've tried it, and this time's no exception. But we'll talk about all of that soon enough. So with that being said, and at risk of further rambling, let's move on to the actual episode. So the episode begins where we left off last week, watching the defeat of Blue Maiden and Aqua by Bowman, and we see Bowman actually absorb Blue Maiden and Aqua, and we see Zaizen grieving for his sister, and basically he tells Soul Technology that now their priority is to save Blue Maiden and Aqua no matter what. However, Emma is able to convince him, after looking at all of these people that are trapped in VRAINS and not being able to get out, she convinces Zaizen to change his mind, and Zaizen does. He basically reminds himself about what happened with Emma and how she lost Blood Shepherd, and is just like, okay, I take that back. The priority is going to be saving all these people that are trapped within VRAINS, and that's going to be their priority. And then after that, we go back to Lightning, who actually encounters Bowman and congratulates him on his win against Blue Maiden and Aqua. However, he also reminds Bowman that now they're at a disadvantage because they lost Wendy and Haru, so he wants to try something new, a new plan, and this plan is not going to pose any risk to them. And Bowman is kind of intrigued by this, and he wants to know what the plan is. And so Lightning fills him in, and Bowman actually does something pretty surprising, because we go back to Playmaker, who's in the middle of this VRAINS ocean here, Mirror Link VRAINS ocean, and Bowman actually appears to him. And at first, they're under the impression that they're going to fight Bowman, and I is still angry about Aqua and is basically saying, fight me right now. But Bowman is saying, I didn't come here to fight you, Playmaker. I came to say goodbye. And Bowman actually warns Playmaker about what's coming and tells Playmaker that if you survive, I will be the one to destroy you. However, Bowman is skeptical that he is going to survive in front of this big, bad enemy that he's going to be fighting. So he's kind of vague on who he's actually going to be fighting before Bowman disappears. And we actually learn after this that the big bad enemy is actually going to be Kusanagi, because Playmaker and I are transported to what at first looks like Den City, but they're still in Mirror Link VRAINS, and they're in front of Kusanagi, who basically is there cleaning the table. And Playmaker kind of expected that this was going to happen, because he said the time has finally come, and they learned that they're going to have to go up against Kusanagi to win and get on with the battle here. And this was pretty much Lightning's plan, because we see that Lightning had contacted Kusanagi, because with Revolver's protection program, Lightning could not go to him. He got Kusanagi to come to him by basically using his brother's consciousness. Jin is basically telling his brother to save him. Kusanagi takes the bait and actually heads off to save his brother, but not before handing off his data to the Knights of Hanoi on how to hack Mirror Link VRAINS. So we learn later on in the episode that Kusanagi kind of expected this to happen before he left, and that's why he sent all that to the Hanoi. And we actually see him go in, and Lightning makes him a deal. Lightning says, if you win against Playmaker, I will restore your brother's consciousness. I will not accept a tie. And if you lose, or if you lose on purpose, I will destroy your brother's consciousness data. So basically, Lightning here is in a win-win scenario. If Kusanagi wins, Playmaker's defeated. And Playmaker is going to be overcome by his emotions. He's going to be too distraught to fight. And if he defeats Kusanagi, Playmaker, then he's going to have a huge scar on his heart that he can't recover from. And so pretty much Lightning knows that this is a win-win for him either way. And everybody is commenting when they see this. Soulburner and Flame are enraged. They're like, this he's using Jin for blackmail. and that is an all-time low. I'm paraphrasing. Revolver is going, he's looking at this, he's like, the Light Ignis is using such unfair duel tactics. Even Revolver's like, this isn't fair. This is a new low, even for you. And this is very interesting coming from Revolver, the architect of the Tower of Hanoi. And, he was going to destroy the entire network just to get rid of the Ignis here and commit, essentially, genocide because of everything he would do. So this is very interesting coming from Revolver. Even Revolver's like, this is a new low. But, yeah, very interesting to hear that. So, finally, we learned that Kusanagi is going to duel Playmaker, and he's not going to hold back. He tells Playmaker, don't go easy on me, as the duel gets underway, and Kusanagi is taking this very seriously, because this is the only way to save Jin. And Kusanagi even goes so far as to make the first turn, and this is like a completely different Kusanagi than what we've seen throughout the beginning of this series, and he takes the first move, and we learn that Kusangi's deck is the Codebreaker deck. Very interesting choice, not completely unexpected choice considering it's Kusanagi here, but very interesting choice nonetheless. And he is actually able to get Playmaker to bring out Decode Talker, and Kusangi's strategy is essentially using the combination of his Link 2 Codebreaker Virus Swordsman and the continuous track card Codebreaker Backfire. His strategy is essentially to keep weakening Decode Talker but not destroying it. And so Playmaker is at a loss here. He thought that the card that would symbolize him and Kusangi's friendship and their determination to fight would kind of help him here, but Decode Talker is at this point a liability for Playmaker, and Playmaker is actually at a huge disadvantage because a huge chunk of his life points is gone. But even Lightning noted that the damage Playmaker has taken is way more than what the numbers indicate, and Playmaker at the very end of the episode tells because I is telling him, we have to fight. And Playmaker's like, I know, but I will not fight Kusanagi. And that's essentially where the episode ends. So with that being said, that was the episode. And like I said, this was just an emotional episode. And it gave me vibes back to the Duel Monster days way back in Duelist Kingdom when we saw Joey go up against Yugi there. And we saw that go down in the battle between two friends. Both of them really couldn't lose here. And I think the parallels between this are just mind-boggling here. And I really do like that they're playing off nostalgia a little bit. On a side note, when we get to this in the dub, if the dub were to go back into the Yu-Gi-Oh sound files and bring back the old track No Matter What, and revise that for this, I think that that would fit this duel perfectly, in my opinion. I forget who actually did that song, but this track is called No Matter What, and it's on the original It's Time to Duel CD if you want to look that up. But I really do think that would fit this really well when we get to the English dub, but I'm getting ahead of myself there. With all of that being said, and side rant aside, that was essentially the episode. Like I said, this episode was really just hitting you right in the feels the entire time. Overall, as an episode, I give this episode a 9 out of 10. You could really feel the emotions here, and you could really feel the tension. And Lightning, you disgust me. That's all I can say. So with that being said, everybody, those were my thoughts on this week's episode. But as always, in the comments section down below, let me know what you guys thought about this week's episode. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did you think it was just there? What were your thoughts? Just let me know in the comments section down below, because as always, I enjoy hearing from you. All right, everyone. As always, Templar74 signing off. Have a great day, everybody, and I'll talk to you all next time. Goodbye, everybody.